I have a story. One day in 5th grade we were on a field trip. On the bus I was sitting next to this weird girl named Patty McBerry. For some fucking reason Patty was so excited about the trip. We were going to a fucking museum. What the actual fuck, who likes museums? They are so fucking boring. Anyways, halfway through the trip Patty McBerry started coughing viciously. She had a seizure due to overexcitement. She was shaking from happiness for the rest of the ride. When we got there Patty McBerry ran out of that bus faster than coronavirus spreads. She fainted because she was so excited. The tour guide had to hold on to Patty while he showed us around because she was too hyper. Out of nowhere, Patty McBerry broke free and ran right to the live animal section. She went to the gorilla's enclosure and smushed her face against the cage wall. Then out of nowhere she starts climbing up the fucking wall. Patty McBerry jumped into the enclosure and tackled the gorilla out of excitement. The gorilla ate Patty and she died.
It was Halloween one year and we were handing out candy to the little undeserving bastard shits that knocked on our door. This one fat ginger bitch knocked on the door and of course she chose the biggest candy bar in the bucket and she said she wants another one. I said, listen here you tubby orange bitch, you get one fucking candy bar, you don't look like you need another one. She grabbed another candy bar from the bucket and started laughing at me and I said to her, if you weren't in a costume I would think you were the grand pumpkin, you giant orange bitch. She took her shoe off and threw it at my face, and that's when I lunged at her and tackled her off the balcony. I started pulling at her orange haystack hair and she started screaming for her dad. Her dad dragged me off the little ginger bitch and he yelled at me saying, who the hell beats up a 7-year-old? I said, me you old twat, and I took her entire bucket of candy and walked inside. The cops came over and I started fake crying saying she attacked me first and I was defending myself, and my dog was agreeing and defending me. The police went to the tubby ginger thot's house and shot it up. That's what you get for messing with me, you expanded Ed Sheeran looking bitch.
All better buckle up because this one's a ride. One day when I was 11 my mom let me use her laptop so I can study for my classes and shit. I got so bored while studying so I decided to go on some frisky websites. Until this ad popped up. It said, congratulations, you've won a free MacBook Pro. Click here to claim it. I thought, OMG, holy shit, I got a free laptop, now I won't have to use my mom's and she won't have to save money to buy me one. So I clicked claim. It redirected me to a blank page and then everything went frozen. I couldn't click out of it or shut off the laptop and I started freaking out. Not because I thought something bad was happening, no, I was freaking out because I thought someone else was gonna claim the laptop before me. The camera started flashing indicating that it was turned on, and I started hysterically crying because I thought it meant that someone else claimed it. My mom heard me hyperventilating so she ran into the room in a panic, and she found me slobbering on her laptop while the screen was blank. She ran over and hugged me and asked what's wrong, and that's when we heard a dark low demonic voice from the laptop say we found you, before it shut off and wouldn't turn back on.
One time I was severely horny. I can get so horny that I become violent. One time I was at school minding my business, doing some work and whatnot, when the horniness kicked in. My teacher saw me in distress so she walked over to help me, and that's when I tackled her to the floor and started humping her. She started screaming, and a teacher walking by ran in and separated us. I said I didn't do anything wrong, please let me go, it's medical. The teacher insisted I go to the principal's office so I did. The principal told me even though I can't help it, I have to control it and not do it anymore. I said okay and I started walking back to class, when I saw my teacher walking to refill her water. I walked up to her about to apologize, when the same rush of horn bursted through my veins. I violently tackled her again and the same teacher separated us again. I got expelled and my teacher is now a raging alcoholic in rehab because of me. It turns out the violent horniness is the main symptom to bowel cancer.
One day my mom told me and my siblings that she had saved up enough money to buy her dream car. We were like, yes queen, period. Anyways, after she picked up her new wood she took us and we got some yummy McDonald's. My phone was on Bluetooth and we were blasting music and having a full-on karaoke session and all that fun shit, but of course I had to fucking spill my coke, but my mom said it's no big deal, but I expected a whooping. The next day while she was cleaning her car we had to go outside because we had a cleaner. I was learning the new WAP dance and didn't realize my phone was still on Bluetooth. So this is what my mom heard.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's a wet. When I get up, fucking, and I'm mopping, that's a wet. I'm talking wop.
My siblings were laughing like, bitch fucking shut up. My mom asked what WAP means and I had to go with the classic, and told her it meant waffles and pancakes, smirking face. The next day she went shopping with my stepdad. Me and my siblings woke up with waffles and pancakes and had a note that said, had to go to the shops, hope y'all enjoy the WAP. We were all laughing until we saw her One day my teacher announced to the class that we were gonna do a Kahoot. I threw my bag of Cheeto Puffs in the air and screamed because I was so excited. I knew I was going to win the Kahoot. Everyone else looked at me like I was on drugs because of how hyper I was. They all knew that I was gonna win since I have never lost a game of Kahoot before. The game started and I was obviously the first to join. My username was Kahootmaster235 of course. Most people joined and so the teacher started the game. Some people didn't join because they knew I was gonna win. There were 15 questions. I was in the lead, but when I saw the leaderboard, this kid with the username You're Gonna Lose Sophia89 was really close behind me. Everyone was cheering them on because they wanted to see me fail. I was like, oh hell no, rat-a-tata, that ain't gonna happen. I couldn't lose
lose my streak of winning. I got the 10th question wrong, but you're gonna lose. Sophia 89 got it right, so they went up to first place and I went to second. I did well the rest of the game, and when it announced the winners, I was in fucking second place and they crippled stretched Ed Sheeran cereal box stanky ho brick eating cockastain mama hippo Jojo Siwa on steroids bitch won. Everyone was applauding them and I realized it was Becky Necky. I decided since everyone was laughing, I let out the most wubble double bubble hubble nubble mubble pubble lubble cubble zubble shit. It managed to make the school catch on fire. Everyone evacuated and everyone was covered in smoke. Everyone apologized to me for laughing at me. It turned out I had bowel cancer and I had to go to the doctor since my asshole had third-degree burns. One day when I was packing my lunch, my grandpa asked me what I was eating, so I told him I was gonna eat a sandwich, apples and Takis. He asked what Takis were and I said they were spicy chips. He asked to try one, but my grandma told me that if I gave him a Taki I would regret it. I gave him one anyway. When he bit the Taki he jumped 65 feet in the air screaming. He was asking for milk and we gave him milk, but we forgot he was also lactose intolerant. While he was drinking the milk he ran out of the room and tripped on our pet pussy. He started farting and it sounded like we lived next to NASA when a rocket is about to launch. He let out the longest sloppy gloppy bloppy moppy noppy copy loppy floppy sloppy. When he fell I heard his back crackle McFrackle tackle. His back cracked, the cat attacked, roaches get attract, he broke his back, his shit turned abstract, he fell on the floor and couldn't get up no more, he was very sore, he looked like a dead boar. The pussy went bonker yonker plonker knocker conkers. We rushed him to the hospital and found out he died from a ruptured rib cage and explosive diarrhea. We also found out he had lymphedema, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, bowel cancer, the bubonic plague, the coronavirus, the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, malaria, AIDS, shitworm, measles and polio.
One sunny morning I woke up in the middle of the night. I sat up and looked around violently, and that's when I felt my finger throbbing. I looked at it and it was filled with a creamy cream, so creamy you could churn it for butter. I ran to my mummy dream in slow motion and told her violently, oh mummy, there's something bad happening to my tummy, and she collapsed in slow motion. She got up rapidly and inspected my thumb, and she had fear in her eyes. She put on her glasses and grabbed an old dusty look and said I'd seen this only once before. It happens so rarely. I said what could be possessing my thumb with an unraveled cream, and she slammed the book shut. She said we need to go to the hospital right this instant. We sped to the hospital as fast as we could in slow motion. We arrived violently and looked and I got down on a stretcher. I was feeling really needing surgery and making an operating while I was still on the stretcher. She grabbed my hand violently. Oh mummy. My body is starting to feel numb. And she collapsed in slow motion. I'm not ready to go. The surgery lasted for 17 hours and it finally finished. We were in the waiting room sitting violently when the results came in. My mummy opened the envelope to reveal that it was just constipation cream. My mummy spent the rest of the day watching my tummy.
One day I was getting ready for school because it was picture day. I had just got new makeup from Easter. I put my foundation on and I thought I looked cute even though the foundation shade made me look sunburnt and the eyeshadow was dark orange. Not a good look. I also wore this ugly musty dress. It was green on the top and the sleeves had brown ruffles. I thought I looked so cool, so I went to school. I am still mad at my parents for sending me to school and that. Everyone stared at me while I walked into class, even my teacher. She was telling us to go down to get our pictures taken by our last names and I went in the beginning since my last name starts with C. I went down and then my stomach started to hurt. I ate McDonald's for breakfast because my parents were too lazy to make breakfast. I honestly started to pray to Whitney Houston that I wouldn't shart. I held my hands to my ass and walked to the photo booth. My stomach started to rumble, grumble, bumble, trumble, numbler, mumble, zumble, lumble. I tried act natural, so I removed my hands from my ass and got ready to take my picture. While I was standing there I did the most soggy doggy, sounded froggy, came out cloggy, looked loggy, made the room foggy, very soggy. I pulled a Nessa Barrett. It made the school building shake so much to the point people thought there was a level 5 tornado. I shat so much that it covered the camera right when they took the photo. When they realized it was my ass and not a tornado, I was immediately rushed to the emergency room and they diagnosed me with the one and only bowel cancer. One day I decided to invite this kinda weird girl over to my house as no one ever wanted to hang out with her and I felt a little bit bad. I told her to meet me in this classroom after the last bell went for the end of the day. I walked all the way to the classroom and she wasn't there. I was really confused as that's where I told her to go. At this point I was bursting for a piss cause the old fat teacher named Pat didn't let me go during the lesson. I made the decision to go to the toilet and maybe she would be there when I got back. When I got to the toilet, there was someone in one of the cubicles having the biggest shit ever. It stunk of moldy eggs, clothing pegs, hairy legs, picture frame, really lame, my idol.
Charlie Grace Amelia.
Touchy-feelio, bug-infested rat, ugly hat, wet dog, greasy fog, shiny spoon, the cow jumped over the moon, loud fan, white van, stinky feet, your outfit is neat, flying bird, donkey turd, deep sleep, big leap, shit started to seep under the cubicle door. I screamed and jumped onto the sinks and asked who it was. It was Toenail Tabby, the girl who was meant to come round to my house. In that moment I was so glad she didn't do that in my house, otherwise we would have had to live on the streets as the plumbing bill would have been like $1 million. I had to walk her up to medical covered in her own shit as I couldn't just leave her there. Her mom picked her up and took her home. The next day she wasn't in school as it turns out she didn't have bowel cancer, but shitty stinky runny-itis. One day I went skiing with my friend Lucy McCoochie. When me and Lucy McCoochie arrived at the skiing resort we got checked in and everything and were ready to go. I have been skiing before but Lucy McCoochie has not. We were both nervous as fuck but we counted to 3 and then went. I was going good but all of a sudden I saw Lucy McCoochie fly across the sky. I thought she was an airplane. That hoe started flying across the sky like she was a crow or some shit. The bird started to fly with her because they thought she was a bird also. She landed and she started rolling down the hill like 324 miles per hour like calm down burrito taquito mosquito wannabe. Lucy McCoochie started to go zoom zoom vroom vroom boom boom bam pow whack whack vroom zoom pow whip papa paratatatata help me. She then slid into a tree just how she slid into 34 men's DMs. Sorry, off topic. She started to cry and yell, ouch my zakuchi wuchi poochie mikuchi moochie noochie juchi suchi buchi luchi zambuchi hurts. She broke her coochie. It didn't smell fruity, it was very juicy, it smelled like sushi, it was very bloody. Her mikuchi zambuchi burned and we were very concerned. We rushed her to the hospital and the doctors told us that she has itchy burny coochie cancer.
So one day, me and my bestie go to this water park, and I was bursting for a piss. So we finish at the water park and we grab an ice cream. This ice cream was so nice and creamy. It was a cream machine, not filled with a spleen, not mean, aquamarine. Anyways, I went to the toilet and put 50p in the slot. Let me just remind you, it said the toilet was vacant. So I pulled the door open and I looked inside. Someone was in there pissing. I was like, what the fuck? I saw a man and I also saw his Willy Wonka chocolate punker feeling bonkers. You're a plunker. He quickly shouted, someone's in here. I was like, how the fuck am I meant to know? It said it's empty. I shut the door ASAP. I was traumatized for life. On the way back to the car, I saw a pad. The